Hello folks, this is Naeem Alsam, Chief Market Analyst at AvaTrade. Welcome to our special video of coronavirus and its influence on the financial markets. So let's begin by looking at the market reaction on Friday. Obviously we saw this upside momentum right towards the close and everything was pretty positive. But that positive momentum didn't really filter into the Asia market. Why? Because yesterday evening on Sunday night, the Fed came out with extraordinary measures which reminded everyone of Lehman crisis weekend. Basically what the Fed did, they reduced the interest rate to zero and also started the quantitative easing program. Now that should have led a positive momentum into the markets today, but we haven't seen that because right now the UK 100 is still trading pretty down, more than 6%. The CAC, the FTSE MIB, the IBEX, the Stoxx 600 and the Stoxx 50, all of them are pretty much down over 7 to 8%. And folks, you know what? The interesting element is if I price the markets, if I start looking at the performance of the worst indices around the globe since the outbreak of the coronavirus, you know which indices are sitting right on top of this ladder? All of them are pretty much your US indices. Nonetheless, on the back of the Federal Reserve's extraordinary measure, one would have expected that the gold price is really going to go higher from here onwards. But again, we didn't see that momentum coming into the market. And what happened is the gold is still on its downward trajectory and still continuing its move to the downside. And I've done a special video on technical analysis where I explain the various different entry and exit points, so I would highly recommend you to go ahead and watch that video. But for now, when I look at the European equity market, everything is pretty much skewed to the downside. And this particular momentum is also feeding into the US futures as well, which are the US markets are about to open in a couple of hours time. And we are expecting another turmoil in the US market as well, because the US futures are down well over 1,000 points. And that means that it is highly likely when the markets open, we're going to hit another limit down. Remember, we've already seen that in the US markets, in the US futures market last night when the futures opened. So I think overall, it is another negative day and the turmoil continues. That's all for today. See you guys tomorrow.